Welcome to Impact Wrestling. We got a very interesting show. The returns. That's the best way to say it. Because we got a few returns this episode. And we got one last episode. My question is this to you guys. A little crooked here. Do you believe next week they're going to have more returns? Or will they wait until no surrender? Well, put it to you like this. Next week really doesn't make sense and bring back even more people. I would rather have people come back and no surrender. Yes, it's an Impact Plus show, but if you really want to make the Impact Plus shows mean something, more than what it is for most people, make it a special show where more returns come in, and you say it next week, say, we probably will have more people coming in. That might make it a more of an interesting show. That's just me, you tell me below. First match, Tasha Steelz versus Havoc. Didn't like this match. The old trope of if you can't beat the tag team, beat them individually sucks. I'm sorry. It just sucks. And it also gives a very bad, how can I say this to you guys? It really looks bad that you don't have new, fresh meat for Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan. Flat out, if you only keep letting them deal with Havoc and Nevaeh, that means you're not really thinking about the tag belts. And that also means, what was the point? Where is the fresh meat for Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan to get over? Where is the women? Where are the knockouts? That's just me, you tell me below. The problem I had with this match was just one glaring you got them in my face. Are you trying to tell me a woman of Havoc's size? And I'm not saying that Tasha Steelz can't get the job done. She can. She's not a bad wrestler. Kiera's improved and Tasha Steelz is not bad. But you're honestly telling me that Havoc, who's pushing near 200 pounds or more, she's as big as Kahn. And you're telling me she could not actually handle a Tasha Steelz from the very get-go. That you had to make it into a struggle for her. Really? Really? I'm doing the Miz. Really? Really? I got to do it. Because it doesn't work for me. And I'm not saying that Tasha Steelz could not get some offense in. And I'm not saying that Kiera Hogan couldn't interfere. But for the parts that were done, you actually showed her getting a good amount of offense in. And I do not agree with that. You got a monster in a Jessica Havoc. You do not make her look weak to a Kiera Hogan or a Tasha Steelz. Yes, she won. Yes, she won. But that's not the damn point. The point is, you got a monster that should not struggle so much with a skinny little twig in a Tasha Steelz. Or even a smaller twig, yes, with a nice butt of a Kiera Hogan who can talk and who can wrestle. Just don't agree with it. Let's move on. Madman Fulton going up against Josh Alexander. Matt Cardona wasn't there, which I was kind of surprised. I would have thought Matt Cardona might be there because he thought he might be his partner, but no, he wasn't. Now here's the thing. Josh Alexander. He's by himself now because we haven't seen Ethan Page since Karate Man Ethan Page ripped out the heart of regular Ethan Page. That means there's a good possibility that the real Ethan Page is not there anymore. And he's moved on to either WWE, which I hope not, MLW, which might be interesting, and maybe if you guys want me to, I might start doing episodes of it. I might actually do reviews of it. Tell me below you want me to at least take a look at it. I haven't seen it in almost 3 years. More than in Reality of Wrestling. I haven't been to it in a while. Tell me if you want me to do a review of it. But there is no Ethan Page. And you see Josh Alexander. And I'm not saying he couldn't get over on his own. He can. But we need more than just him working in the ring. I want to see promo segments. I want to see a video package of Josh Alexander by himself. That's how he's going to get over with me personally. I like him actually. When he was working with Ethan, he had a good character. But now he's not with Ethan. And either Ethan's coming back later or not. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to be focusing on Josh Alexander and the commentary team who I'm enjoying of D'Lo Brown and not Josh Alexander. You see, Matt Stryker put him over well. D'Lo did as well. But you need more than just him going in the ring. Please get me some video packages of him. Give me something to really know who Josh is. What is his character without Ethan? That's what I need. You guys tell me below. Now, the Brian Myers segment. Here's the thing. His segment was fine with the eye patch, but that wasn't the problem. Hernandez being his partner was not the problem. It was. You're telling me, instead of doing something more interesting with Eddie Edwards, maybe getting him to go into the X Division again, because you only got Raju dealing with TJP. Sorry if you hear some noise. The kids are coming in now. You're telling me you can't do something more with Eddie Edwards other than making him be batshit crazy. I'm sorry. It just doesn't feel like something. And then you throw Matt Cardona into the mix, because I had a feeling after the beatdown happened, Hernandez came out to say, Brian, that this was going to be about Brian dealing with Matt Cardona. I knew it. And they were just throwing Hernandez and Eddie Edwards into it. But you had to trigger this with Eddie acting batshit crazy. Acting like a hardcore nut to get this to work. Now, I'm not saying that he's in a good hardcore wrestler. He's pretty good. But you can't do something more. You have to use him getting triggered as a hardcore wrestler again for this to happen. You couldn't just let Matt Cardona have an issue with Brian Myers and that he tries to confront him about because he's his best friend. They do a podcast together. You couldn't just book it that way. You had to do it the inadvertent way with someone that should be doing something else. You guys tell me you really believe that Eddie Edwards should be used in this situation. Because if it was in another way with Eddie, other than him being a hardcore nut, it might have worked for me. But here, no. Now, we had a moment of them playing blackjack in the back. And you see, I don't understand why they're still going along with this story where you got Johnny Swinger still with the wad of cash. He's literally throwing it around, going like this with it because it's so heavy. And they're still looking at him and dealing with why? Where does this lead? Does this lead to a what? Are we going to have Johnny Bravo versus Johnny Swinger for the wad of cash at No Surrender? Will they actually go there? Because Johnny Swinger has gotten something that I think Johnny Bravo should have, and not Falaba, who is really wanting some cash because he lost it. And he was like this, my precious, and lost his damn mind and messed up his quote unquote, the groom. Why? You guys tell me. Now, you got Trey, who came back last week in an interview. And he tried to make it very clear. One of the things he had the moment he laid eyes and stepped foot in Impact was 2 crutches, and now they're gone. And he gets cut off by Sami Callihan. Now, they did show a scene of what happened last week when Ken Shamrock lost his shit and decided to try and break the ankle of a ref, and Sami could not control him and he gets punched in the face. And now Ken Shamrock is indefinitely suspended. We don't know when he's coming back, if ever. Maybe his contract is done, they just had to write him off. But he's going like, hey, don't try and hurt me. I just want to talk to you, and this is Sami. And he says, you're trying to bury your boys already. Already you're trying to bury your boys. That's real loyalty for you. And that's one of the problems of this place. No loyalty. You could have been great before this ever happened. Before you even left. The only thing you need to do is truly see who the hell you are and show loyalty. That's kind of like what he said. And it makes me think, is he trying to switch out Ken Shamrock with a Trey? Honestly, I think I wouldn't mind that. I'm not saying to get another OVE. But in this situation where you got to do something with Trey, you got to definitely do something with Sami. You got to do something because we have no tag teams. We don't got them. We don't. Who do we got? We don't have Rio and Scum. Yes, we got Triple XL, which I'll talk about in a minute. And you got now the team, the makeshift team of a Sabin and a Stone. That's it. You need more. You need more for the division. So seeing that they may come together as a tag team kind of makes some sense. A little more than anything because they're both misfits. And now they want to be more. So it makes sense since you're not going to put a Sami Callihan in the main title scene or you're not going to put him in the X Division title scene. You got to do something with him. So put him into the tag title scene and make it mean something. Now, XXXL, their moment. You got Larry D versus a Crazy Steve. And tell me if you noticed that Crazy Steve mimicked a Rosemary in her intro. In her getting into the ring. Because that's what he did. Now the question's going to be, how far are they going to let Crazy Steve be like Rosemary? Now the match was okay. But this wasn't really about that match. This was really about one thing. Crazy Steve getting his butt whooped and Larry D wishing that was Rosemary. But he can't do it because he doesn't hit a woman. So now Tennille Dashwood is coming to the mix. And they're perfectly fine with that because in their interview, she approaches and pretty much says, well, I overheard absolutely everything, but I don't want to say that I overheard everything because I got nothing else better to do. And that's Tennille Dashwood. She pretty much said, if you need someone beaten up, that's a woman, I can do it. I'm your woman. And he says, fine. So now, at No Surrender, you're going to have these three up against DK and questioning who is going to be their third person. Now, I'm not going to say who it is because I don't really know. I don't know. I just don't. Well, maybe I should give a kind of a hint because I do believe this guy has now earned the right to come back into wrestling. I know everyone won't totally agree with me, but you need someone that's going to fit in with DK. You're not going to get a big guy. And I say this again. I do not believe Madman Fulton is going to leave Ace Austin and go to Decay. If it wasn't going to be Manic that's going to join them, it's not going to be Suicide that's going to join them, who's a misfit. Both of them are supposed to be misfits, and they're not going to do it. The best person for me personally would be Jimmy Havoc. Now, I know people can say, hey, he had a problem with the Me Too movement and stuff. Look, I don't know if it's true or not. At this point, I don't really say I care. I'm not saying I don't care if he did treat women bad and he did rape somebody or whatever they said he would, which I don't know and I don't believe it. He did actually do it. I could be wrong. Let's put this aside. If he didn't do anything, throw him in Decay. There's a lot of wrestlers out there that need work. Remember, the majority of the independent scene is not working. They're home or they're living out of their car or they're starving. I want to see people work. I want to see them get something. You guys tell me below what you think. Now, Susan versus... I was actually kind of surprised about this match. Not because it was bad. It wasn't that bad. I'm glad to see Jazz working with Jordynne Grace. A wrestler who easily has great knowledge that I would love her to pass on, not just Jordynne Grace, but every woman on the roster, and hell, some men on top of that. I want her to pass on her knowledge to, doesn't matter who, that's young in the business. The thing that surprised me was ODB coming back and basically taking them on once Jordynne Grace beat the crap out of Susan. And this is the thing. I realized that now ODB is back, and I'm fine with that. So, I love him. Who wouldn't love ODB? I'm sure she's a sweet person with a great knockers, and an intelligent head. She got brains. Here's the thing that I want to know. You now had Sue. You've had Susie. You have Suzanne. We need a Suzanne. Sexy Suzanne. What I want is for her to be like McFoley. The personalities of McFoley. You got McFoley. You have Mankind. You had Cactus Jack. And then you had Dude Love. Dude Love is the one I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for her to turn to Suzanne. Sexy or seductive. I'm botching the word because I can't pronounce it, because I want to see how sexy a Sue Young could be. The seductress Suzanne. I know it doesn't sound exactly right. It could have been seductress Susan. But Suzanne, I want to see her try and dress up sexy and be like a Scarlett Bordeaux. I'm hoping to go down that road and we will get the next iteration of Sue. I want to see it. I want to see Sue act sexy and showing some of that booby. Sorry. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Oh, almost forgot. Murad Shirai appeared at the match of TJP and the Raju, the non-title match. Now, I'm not really going to go into detail about the match. It was fine. And Raju got help from Murad Shirai. I will have to go into detail just a tiny bit. Once you see that TJP went under the ring because he was going to try and put on a manic suit, or the mask, to really mess up Raju, Murad Shirai comes out from under the ring and pretty much screws him up. He gets thrown into the ring and he gets pinned. That's obvious. You guys know what I said last week. I predicted Murad Shirai coming back. If it was not Raj Singh, it was going to be Murad Shirai. And here's the thing, guys. I don't hate Murad Shirai. I actually like him. I really do like Murad Shirai, but he has come back to Impact Wrestling multiple times, and they really haven't done anything with him. Either because he had a problem, which I don't think he did, or they had a problem due to the fact of the booking. That I do think is happening here. They kept him middle of the road, not doing really anything. They never pushed him into the main title scene much. Very rarely ever did. Now, I'm not saying that he was ready for it in many cases. Many cases he wasn't. And he has been a champion. I'm not taking that away from him either. When they went to India, he became champ. Yes. But now, after all this time, he was gone. He now comes back again. I don't believe it's really going to help Impact Wrestling much. Not because he's a bad talent. It's just because he's another big guy. AEW would do more with him. They have some big guys there, but I would like to see him on AEW Dark. That's where I think he really should go. Unless he's already been there, that's where he should go. WWE? No. They wouldn't know what to do with him. They wouldn't know. Another Indian guy, they're not going to treat him like he's the Great Khali. And they're not definitely going to treat him, and this is going a lot, as oh no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I shouldn't go there because I'm not against him. But you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. That everyone despises because they believe in 2016 he brought down SmackDown. Yes, I'll say it in that respect. But in this case, Murad Shirai, I believe, might be better in AEW. But now, we had Tony Khan come out. Now, I don't think I said this last week, but Tony Khan, he sucks as a heel. But he's entertaining because he's like a B-movie. He's so bad, he kind of floats into that good category where it just is such bad work. It kind of is funny and good. And he's trying to put over Beach Break, which he's got to do it because he wants his company to be seen. And I know a lot of people are not too fond of it. And me personally, you guys already know how I feel. Particularly that we need Impact to be seen more on TNT, please. Send more people there, please. I want to see Rich Swann over there. I want to see a Moose over there. Please send more Impact people, please. But he was funny. I will give him that. We got Private Party and Matt Hardy, the Private Party Hardy, having their moment pretty much. And Matt is setting up, getting those. He wants those double titles. Money Matt wants more money. He wants 50% on Impact Wrestling, and he wants 30% on AEW. He wants 50%, whatever they get if they're the champs. He wants 30% whatever they get on AEW. He wants it. And he's setting it up. And you got Quinn, and you definitely got... Well, I think when it comes to Cassidy, he is not too comfortable with this. He is not being happy about being used. But he's trying to deal with it because he knows he's making money. So I like seeing the dynamic with them. Not too fond of being used the way they are, but they know they're making money with Big Money Matt, and that is something you're enjoying. Finally, Moose and Bay versus Tommy and Rich. Bay is an incredibly good wrestler. I'm not calling it Ultimate Finesser. The Smooth Criminal is going to steal that title eventually. I see this for Chris Bay. I say another year, if they're willing to understand how to book him, by 2022, this guy will get the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight title. He may go after the X Division again, and he will probably get that title again. But I truly believe by maybe 2022, he will become Impact World Heavyweight Champion eventually. He will. I do believe next year. This is just my prediction. He's got the skills. He has the attitude. He has the promo skills. He has all the tools generally that you need to be a success. And that's what I truly believe for Chris Bay. Then you got yourself a Moose, who obviously is the future champion of this year. He's taking that title. And what I heard D'Lo Brown say when the match was over, and it was, Moose pretty much speared Rich because Tommy jumped out of the way and let him spear him, and he won. You can see 100% that it's coming down to it, that Moose will become champ. And now you get a divide between a Rich and a Tommy Dreamer, because Tommy was willing to push Moose out of the way, not to get nailed, and let Tommy let him nail Rich, who he's supposed to have respect for. But when you saw that little scene with them together, and as Rich really did not show the type of respect you think he would, because he thinks not that, he thinks a little light of a little Tommy. You now see 100% Tommy wants that title. So next week we should see something at the contract signing. But this is just my point of view. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.